In this video, I've got some tips and examples of solving the last two centers on your 6x6 and 7x7. Alright, this video is some tips for solving the last two centers on your 6x6 and 7x7. The first few things are relating to the use of commutators in solving your final 1x4 or 1x5 bar. The very first thing is that you should obviously never be doing more than one commutator in each solve. So if you have a situation like this, these two and these two up here, you don't want to be doing a commutator for that one and then another commutator for that one. You should always try and attach the corner centers to either one of these oblique centers. The same thing applies on 7x7. You don't want to be solving 3 of your final 5 pieces and then realize that you need to do 2 commutators to insert the final 2 pieces. You generally want to try and attach this middle outer edge to one of these 2 oblique centers by doing the m'U2M move. However, there will be some rare cases where you can do slightly different things. So in a situation like this, where we've got 4 of our final 5 centerpieces solved, and these 2 obliques are actually solved and paired up together, it's better to do just a commutator than it is to, take these out, do an M2, and then insert them. What we can do is, with these 2, just do a commutator as we would normally, and just use this middle slice and bring it back down to solve them. Another thing that you can experiment with are these rare cases where you have 2 pieces left to solve up here and here, and they're actually connected to one another. So we can do what are known as block commutators. So instead of just switching 2 pieces, instead of just switching one piece with one another, we can do something like this. So wide R, U prime, and then both this slice and this slice can go up. So let me do that again. So do the commutator as normal, and then these 2 slices up, U prime, down, like that. On a 6x6, we can even do this with a corner center and an oblique center. So if we're in a situation like this where we need to solve these final 2 pieces and they are connected together, this is the important thing, they need to be connected together on this top face, we can do wide R, U prime, 3 wide L prime, U, wide R prime, U prime, 3 wide L, like that. So that's a block commutator for solving the final 2 centerpieces of this 6x6 case. One specific case which sometimes trips people up is where we have 2 oblique centers stuck in this front face like this, and the other 2 oblique centers in the top face are connected to one another. A simple way of tackling this problem is to move these 2 inner ones over to this right hand side and just do wide R, U, wide R prime, like that, and that will create that will split up 2 oblique centers with which you can use them to create a 1x4 and then insert it down here, like that. Before I go into a couple of examples, I guess one other tip, and this might seem like common sense, is for when you're solving the second bar on the 6x6, if you've got 1x4 here already solved and you're wanting to solve an outer 1x4 bar, generally the best thing to do is look for a block of 2 obliques which are already paired up together. So this means that you'll only need to use wide R and U moves to actually pair up, these 2 obliques with 2 corner centers and then insert them here, as opposed to, having to do slice moves to create 2 obliques, to match up 2 obliques together. You'll only need to use wide R moves like that. Okay, now I'm just going to do a couple of examples of solving the last 2 centers on the 6x6 and the 7x7, and it's important to keep in mind the principles of being flexible and adaptive with your solutions and not necessarily always doing 1x4, 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 1x4. If you have something like, if there's an outer 2x2 block like this in the corner and another one up here, then obviously the best thing to do to create the first 2x4 would just be to do the moves to attach 4 centerpieces to 4 centerpieces, like that. However, in this case, we don't have that, and what I'm going to do is just use these 2 and these 2 to create my first 1x4. And then I see I have these 2 obliques with this corner center, so what I'm going to do is attach them like that. Move these down here, and what I'm going to do is use these 2 again with these 2 to create this 1x4, and then I've got a very easy case. So what I can actually do is cancel into the commutator for this particular case. So I've got these ones which I can insert like that. But before I do so, I can just do a U2, slice up, U prime, I prime, U, slice back down. You will find that particularly on the 6x6, there will be a lot of easy cases for solving the last two centers, or at least solving the first half of your last two centers. And this is by no means the easiest case, but there's definitely, this is definitely quite a useful case. So in this example, we have 3 here and 1 here. So probably what I'll do is just do R prime F, R, F prime to create this 1/4. And as I was doing that, I noticed I have these 3 up here. So I can just do R, U, R prime like that. Then what I'm going to do is attach this inner center to this one first. And I notice that I've got these 2 obliques paired up. So what I'm going to do is, to keep these 2 paired up, all I'm going to use is wide R, so second layer R moves and U moves to create a 1/4. So I've got this one and this one, like that, and then insert it. And then these 2 remain paired up. So I can just insert them like that. On the 7x7, I do like to stick to a more standard approach because with the fixed center, it can be a little bit more tricky to be very flexible. However, there's definitely still room for that sort of thing. But in this situation, probably what I'm just going to go for is this inner 1/5 bar. So I can probably use these 3 and this one like that. And then this one down here. Now, the next thing that I did notice is I've got this 1/5 bar on blue already. So I think in this situation, it's fair enough to actually just insert it here like that, and then work on another 1/5 bar to insert here. In this case, I've got these 3 and this one. So I can just do an M prime U2 M. Attach these ones and then insert them like that, and then move that block over to there. That's not something I do very often, but in very easy cases like that, where the 1/5 bar is already solved, then it's probably viable. The next thing that I'm looking for are the inner centerpieces, so these 3 inner ones, and it's here, here, and here. So I would pair those up, and I see that I've got this case with an oblique here and oblique up here. So I can set them up like so and insert them. Now I'm going to attach this inner center to these 2. And then I've got this case where I can do an R, U prime, R prime, but I can cancel that into a commutator like so. Alright, for this final example, to build my blue 1/5 bar, I see that I've got these 1, 2, 3, 4 blue pieces all in a row up here. So I can just do an M prime, U prime, M to solve that. Then what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to work this piece in this 1/4 line, which would require some slice moves, what I'm going to do is just do an F2. And now I've got this corner center here. I can just do wide moves to insert that. Now what I'm going to do is both pair this corner up with these 3, as well as bring this this outer edge center up to the top, like that. So now I've got 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one directly across from it. So I can do M prime U2 M, and then insert it down there like that. Now I've got these 2 and this one, which I want to pair up like so. And now I have this very annoying case, as I showed just before in the 6x6, where I've got these 2 obliques, but they're effectively paired up together in this case. So what I'm going to do is move these over here. I've got these 2 stuck here, so I can do wide R, U, wide R prime, and then I'll just continue on and solve the rest of this 1/5 bar. So I've got this one and this one. And then I'm going to attach these 2. And then attach these 2 corner centers to these ones. And then finish off with the commutator.